is this like being recorded, or are we doing this live? Oh shit! All right. All right. So do I need to not cuss a lot, or does it matter? Or... Okay. All right. All right. Good. Exactly. There you go. All right. Okay. All right. Oh no, I understand, man. It's all good. Hell yeah.
Okay. There's Rexx. There's me. All right. Welcome. We are now 25 episodes deep into the Unfiltered podcast. I never thought we'd get this far. I'm Tyler Anderson. The internet knows me as Tyler Liger. Rexx knows me as Tyler Liger as well. I'll do a quick introduction with Rexx because, I mean, yes, like to me, he needs no introduction, but y'all need to know how awesome this guy is. So I got to know Rexx through pro wrestling. Rexx helped me learn the ways of falling down and doing cool moves. And I mean, I don't really fall over anymore, but I do still help out, especially when it comes to Squared Circle Pro and all that really cool stuff. But Rexx, the man, the myth, the zombie killer. How would you like if you were to like show up at a party and like you have to make an introduction, you know, like you maybe know me at the party, but you don't know everybody else, and I'm like, hey everyone, meet my friend Rexx. How would you introduce yourself?
Probably the same way. Just, hey, I'm Rexx. I mean, you know, if I had some alcohol already in me, then be a little more crazy. But yeah, just.
Well, I think one of the coolest things I got to be a part of was just seeing you be able to like wrestle at Dragon Gate, and you ended up not making one but two appearances at Dragon Gate USA, if I remember correctly.
It was technically three.
Three? Okay, wow.
Yeah, so I worked the first show where I got on the show. Then I went back in January. I worked the Philly show, same arena, the old ECW arena, and then the next day I worked in New Jersey for them. So.
Oh, okay, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Because that was the trip, not with me and V. We'll get into that here really quick,
yeah.
Because I like to tell snippets from the story, but I was like, it's better when Rexx like tells the story, because we got into a whole bunch of shenanigans out in the East Coast.
Oh my god, Jesus, man! Oh my god, it was a good time.
It was a good time, and I basically burned a hole in my wallet doing so. But if I had to do it all over again, I would totally do it all over again. But
yeah, I mean, I would too, man. I mean, you really helped me out that trip, and I'll never forget that, man. Like, I remember I had the money for like the rental car, and they wouldn't take my card at the time, so you actually helped me out with that. So I appreciate that, man.
Oh, hey, you bet. And The second time you went with Manimal out there, and I always
Yes.
kind of kid people because like people are like, who was the Manimal? And I'm like, think Captain Caveman in pro wrestling.
Yes. That is the best description of Manimal right there.
So hey, I would say, like, what would be your origin story? Because you got started way back like 2006. I mean, you've since, like, you know, you've taken your bow, you've moved on to things where that they don't, you know, try to kill you. But yeah, talk about your start and, you know, kind of how you got going, because that's a really cool story in itself.
Well, you know, I grew up a huge wrestling fan. Like, I've been watching wrestling since I can remember, like 1985. My dad was a huge wrestling fan. So, you know, I always was a fan, but I really didn't get serious about it till probably 1990. I started watching WCW when it first came out after it was a part of the Jim Crockett Promotions. I was a huge, big Van Vader fan. And he's the reason that really got me wanting to think, you know what, maybe I could do this. Maybe this would be something I could really do. Because I was always a big guy like him. And when I got into high school, it's all I talked about. Like, you know, we'd watch wrestling every week, the Monday Night Wars. Wrestling was the biggest thing back then. I mean, it was huge.
It was the thing in the 90s.
Yes, it was. I mean, people weren't watching Monday Night Football. They were watching, you go to like any bars or anything, they're watching wrestling. There's no football on. And so, yeah, I told everybody in high school, like, yeah, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. And I'm even in my yearbook, which I don't know where the hell it's at because I'm that old. But even in the yearbook, all people would write, be like, oh, we'll see you on Monday Night Nitro or Raw someday, and we can't wait, and blah, blah. And I planned on starting 1998, and then I had some stuff happen, some personal stuff. And in 2003, I moved back to Roswell. I had moved like to Nevada, I'd moved to Colorado, and I grew up in Roswell, New Mexico. Yes, fucking alien town, all that shit. That's where I grew up. But I mean, I loved it there. But anyway, I'd moved back. I was working for Pepsi at the time, and they were doing just a random show, like a random indie show, but it had like the Legion of Doom on it. It had Buff Bagwell on it. It had Teddy Bianchi, all these people. And I'm like, I'm going to that shit. I don't care. I'm going to that show because it'd been years since I've been to a wrestling show. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was like in the gym again. Like, I was getting real big, you know, and I had a cutoff shirt. It was a Monster Garage. I don't know if you guys remember that show. But some random guy just comes up to me. It's like intermission, and asks me, he's like, hey, are you a worker? And of course, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about at the time. I'm like, what's a worker? He's like, are you a wrestler? And I'm like, no. He's like, you ever wanted to be? I was like, well, yeah, it's my dream. Well, the guy that was reffing, he was training people. So he hooked me up with him. And that's how I got started. Like, I started training like the next week. He had like 10 people show up, and we were training in a boxing ring. Like, it wasn't even a ring. It was a legit boxing ring. And everybody quit except me. I stayed in it. I got my ass kicked the whole time, but I stayed. And ever since then, I just kept going back, and he kept training me, and eventually, So, I mean, but that is a whole nother story. The guy that trained me, I didn't know anything about the business. Yeah. And the guy that trained me had only been in the business a year. Like, he didn't even know what the fuck he was doing. Like, It was about 3 months in, he was bringing in other people, and he was having me train them because it's like I knew more than him, but he's had matches. So,
that's like topsy-turvy. That's like Bizarro World type of stuff.
It really was, man. Like, I don't even really consider him my trainer. Like, he broke me in. Like, I learned how to bump and all that.
Yeah.
But I really don't feel like I really got taught till I moved to Amarillo about a year later. Sure. And I started training with Terry Daniels and a guy named Bob Wire. Those are the guys I consider my trainers because they really taught me the business and how to get going on it. So,
yeah. And you've had ties with Amarillo for like a long time. Like, I remember when I started going on the shows, and like you were there, and it was like you and Lilith Blood, who still wrestles sporadically, beating the crap out of each other. And then there was also the saga between you and El Gringo Loco, which it's crazy that El Gringo Loco, he's still going. He's now the king of SCP now. He's got he's got the king gimmick going during the whole Civil War. But over your time, you were able to travel a lot. And this is your chance to tell some of your favorite stops, because I think along the way you've rubbed shoulders with like Shingo. Shingo ended up being like your biggest cheerleader, especially at Dragon Gate USA. And then you run into guys like, Bryan Danielson before he got big, and all these guys. So what are some of your favorite spots when you were kind of going up in the business?
Well, I mean, I would like to probably talk a little bit about that Dragon Gate show, because that show, honestly, like it changed everything for me. Like before that, I mainly just worked, Texas. I worked New Mexico here and there, but I was mainly a Texas guy. I just wrestled in Texas. And I went up there and, we did the tryout. It was me and Chad Thomas, and I'll give Chad all the credit in the world. He's the main reason I feel like I got picked as one of the guys. But, we went in there, we had just a great tryout match, and they're only picking 3 people from the tryouts. There's probably 40, 50 people trying out for this show.
Yep.
And it came down to, it was me, Tommaso Ciampa, and this guy named Scott Reed.
Yeah.
But they picked Scott Reed first, then they picked Tommaso Ciampa. They had another guy like they were going to pick. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you got Shingo and Yamato stopping them, and they're going, no. We want Rexx. And I'll never forget that, because that was like it was just like my jaw dropped, like, what? And the crazy thing is, Yamato and Shingo, I had met them a couple years before because they did a Texas tour, and they remembered me from it and everything. So, and I was actually at one point supposed to work Shingo, and I got injured, so I didn't get to. But 3 years later, I see them, and they went to bat for me, and I'll never forget that. But yeah, they stopped. I think it was Gabe Sobolski was one of the ones picking the other guy.
Yeah.
And they were the ones running the tryout. Yamato and Shingo were running the tryout, and they stop him, and they're just like, no, we want Rexx. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that was probably one of my favorite things. And me and Tommaso Ciampa teamed up that night against, I believe it was Cheech and Cloudy. And then, and then after the show, I ran into Shingo again. I went up, shake his hand, everything.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing he said was, I was like, thank you for everything. I appreciate it. He's like, no problem. You top rope. Very, very exciting.
That's where Jason Stripe got that from. Yeah. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a night I'll never forget, because that just changed everything for me. Because once I did that show is when my bookings really picked up, and I started doing a lot of traveling around the U.S. So.
Oh yeah. From my perspective, that was a very special day, because I remember we were tired because I think we went up to New York the night before, because we were picking up door. Like this guy, like in front of us, like he reached out his hand, like and did like this, and that's where the drug deal went down, right in front of us. And V's like, oh man, I've seen everything. I've seen a drug deal go down in New York, like. And we make it back to Philadelphia at 7 a.m. We fall back asleep, and then there's other shenanigans that happen, because Chad was a shenanigans machine.
Yes, he was. Yes,
we have Chad Thomas stories of the yin yang, and we went to the arena later that day, and I remember like it was you, me, and V all walking in through the back. And when you walk into the ECW arena, it's really not much. It's a bingo hall on steroids. Yeah. And we're walking in, and I remember, this is how I remember this going down, was Cody Jones was at that show too. Yeah. And he was working, he was having his tryout, and he was working with Akira Tozawa. And Akira Tozawa goes on greener pastures. Yep. And they're just doing chain wrestling. And, you know, and then they had this other weird guy that was in there too. And so, like, you and Chad were like, they're just chain wrestling. What are we doing? And you guys turned to each other. It's like, why don't we just do big moves? Just do big moves. Yeah. Let's just pop the boys. And the guys went out there. You guys killed it and did the legacy killer, which becomes known as the zombie killer, which is the power bomb into the lung blower. Yeah. See, I still know my moves. And, and at the end of the tryout, Gabe was like, okay, all right, so I want Scott Reed. That was the other one. That was Tommaso Ciampa when he was just starting out. Yeah. And he picked a tag team.
That's what it was. Yeah,
on the show. Yeah, it was a tag team. And then the coolest thing ever, and I still love telling this story, is Shingo and all the Japanese guys, they were all just like, no, we want Rexx, and they all started chanting your name. And I mean, that was like, and by the time like that all happened, you know, say what you will about Mike Quackenbush, like he pops up like right next to V and I'm just like, oh, that's Mike Quackenbush, cool. But yeah, all that went on, and then and Gabe Sapolsky was a super nice guy. I had interactions with him. He was, think of it like, okay, for those familiar with the Amarillo or the West Texas pro wrestling scene, think of like Rick. Like Gabe almost behaves like Rick. That's why although Rick, I would say, is more, well, I feel like the years have gotten better with both Gabe and Rick as far as their booking. Rick's booking is just, it's top notch. It's so good. But yeah, it was just like interacting with Gabe was like interacting with Rick. And then the show comes up, and you got in the ring, and people are like, who are you? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to run with this. And these Philly residents, you know, they probably went to the arena a shit ton of times, and they were like, so who's this guy? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's Rexx. It's like, who's this guy? He looks like a death match wrestler. And it was because we had a scuttlebutt, like, you know, like a few, like before we made the trip. Yeah.
You know what? I completely forgot about that whole, oh man. Yeah, because my face was all scraped up.
Yeah, it was all scraped up.
So we had like there was it was like, I think it was 3 days before we left. We went to like a bar or something after the show. Yeah. And I ended up getting in a fight with a guy at McDonald's or something. Yeah. That's what okay. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
So I'll get to that. I'll get to that here in a second. Right. But they were like, man, you know, he looks like he's like a deathmatch wrestler. And I'm like, yeah, that's Rexx Reed. He's from Texas. So they started chanting your name when you got in. Yeah. And then there was Tommaso, and then you guys teamed up against Cheech and Cloudy. It's so crazy where, you know, Tommaso would go today. I mean, it's hard to believe that Tommaso had such a rise. But I remember, well, I think you told me this later, but it was during the match, and like they had Tommaso down and out in the corner, and they were doing these sentons onto him, and it knocked him out for some odd reason. Yeah. And then when he didn't come to, he didn't come to until you guys got to the back.
Yeah, he was knocked loopy like that. I'm pretty sure he got a concussion.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah.
Like it was funny because like he came to and he's like, "What? Where am I at?" Like, and you were like, "Dude, calm down. The match is over." You know.
Yeah. He's you know, he's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. I mean, I stayed in contact. Nice. Yeah, we stayed in contact for a good couple years. I mean, but that show really changed it for him because he was supposed to work the shows I did like the following January, and it opened Ring of Honor's eyes, and that's why Ring of Honor pretty much signed him because of that tryout at Dragon Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
so I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
it changed his career completely. So
Oh yeah. Um, I I remember and we'll get to the other aspects of the epic trip. I do know that you made a second trip up to Dragon Gate, and it was like a 6-pack match, wasn't it? Because
yeah,
it was like AR Fox and all those guys. Like that was kind of
yeah,
neat.
it was AR Fox, Sammy Callahan, Hollow Wicked, I believe his name was.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a couple other guys. I don't remember all that was in it, but yeah, those are the main guys that were in it.
Yeah. And I remember, what was it? That was the trip where it was you and Manimal that made the trip. Because wasn't Manimal like trying to get on the show too? Or
Well,
did he have another booking?
It was me, Manimal, and his wife Chrissy that passed away a couple years ago.
Okay, our condolences.
Yeah, she was amazing, but yeah, I think that was the plan. I think he wanted to try to get on the show, and they were just full. But we were also trying to get other bookings. Like we went and talked to some other people while we were up there and seeing if we could get on some shows. I mean, the thing I love about Manimal, he's old school. Like he's so good at talking people into doing stuff. But but yeah, we weren't able to get any other bookings, and he wasn't able to get on the shows. But still, I mean, he made contacts, and he's so smart because even though he didn't get on the show, he's still making contacts with people. So next time they're in his area or he's in their area, he can hit them up and be like, "Hey, what do you got any shows available?" But yeah, that was the main thing. He just wanted to make contact more than anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Should we tell the other parts of the first trip to Philadelphia, because they were pretty good themselves?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, man. Yeah,
okay.
they were a blast.
Okay, so the trip there was not too bad. I remember we went to St. Louis. We went to the Anheuser-Busch Brewery.
Yeah.
We toured that. We went to the Gateway Arch, and then we continued on because we were trying to make it to Louisville in time for a Ring of Honor show.
Right. Yeah, we didn't make it in.
I couldn't find the Danny Davis Arena. I was like, it's supposed to be around here somewhere. Where the hell is it? So we ended up like just eating somewhere, and we're like, okay, well, let's just continue on because we wanted to get to Gettysburg. Yeah. And I remember it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we got lost in West Virginia.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I was driving. You guys, at one point, you guys fell asleep, man. I was on some back road, and I don't think I've ever been so scared in my damn life, man. It's creepy as hell out there.
It was creepy. Like we were like, this is nothing but fog and hills. So you were like, hey Tyler, can you I need you to wake up and you need to get us back on the interstate. So I did somehow, some way. We got back on the interstate. We ended up in Gettysburg. We ended up spending a little bit of time in Gettysburg, just a few hours. That was the uneventful trip. The return trip was a lot more eventful. And then we went to pick up Chad. We went to New York, and that was history. On our way back, because we had the hotel room for only one day, and we had to drop Chad off the airport. Then we went to Gettysburg, and we were able to spend a majority of the day there. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And then came nighttime. We were in Rexx, you were into ghost hunting at the time. V was into ghost hunting, and they were like,
I still am.
and you guys were like, let's go on the ghost tour. So we did. And I remember they couldn't take us into the battlefield because the National Park Service, the battlefield closes at 8:00, and we couldn't go in, but we could get close to it. And I remember once we got done with the ghost tour, we were like, okay, all right, let's go back to these places, go get some EVPs. And then of course, without us really thinking, we took some souvenirs from the battlefield and we weren't supposed to. And
No.
so you look at me and you're like, Tyler, can you get us back in the back? Can you get us back go over to Devil's Den and so we could drop this stuff off? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, let's go. And that was this
Stupid idea.
Yeah, it was stupid, but it was the scariest drive of my life. It was the scariest drive of my life because I swear to God, I saw something cross the road in front of us. And I remember you recorded me like just being scared shitless, and I'm like, dude, Rexx, I'm scared. Like we were hearing like musket fire in the woods, and we were trying to get the Devil's Den. It was just the spookiest thing. It was like the Silent Hill shit.
It really was.
And we finally get there, and you guys hop out, and you guys did your thing, and there were like voices chattering in my ear.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, like, this is like where I completely went like pro wrestler. I was like, shut up, bro. I'm just scared, you know? While you guys are out dancing and like, you know, and and paying respects to the souls that are still out there. And then you guys come in, and I'm so thankful that the park service didn't find us.
Yes.
Even though it's like a $75 fine, we could have paid for it, but
yeah.
And I remember we were like, well, we're gonna continue on, and I'm like, dude, it's like 3 a.m. We're dead tired. Yes. So I was like, I pull in this hotel because I was like, all right, I got some cash left. Let's see if we can get a room at like 3 a.m. I walk into the hotel room, and you guys were out by then, and I walk in, and I'm like, can we get a room? And, and the owner was like, hey, like, yeah, we'll get you a room. And he got me the bill, and I'm like, I only got $70, like $70 in cash. And he's like, okay, all right. So this is where the guy really got awesome. And this is proof that, like, you know, the owners that are East Indians, like, they all know each other. So he's like, well, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Amarillo. And he's like, oh, I got family out of Amarillo. So he started sliding me some deals. He was like, are you a member of the AARP? And I'm like, no. And he's like, now you are. Like, and he gave me the discount.
Yeah.
He gave me a lot of discounts. We got it up to $70. We were able to get the room. And I pull off to the back, and I'm like, guys, let's go in the back. And then we got into the room. We were able to sleep. And then I think we woke up the Suburban Commando. Suburban Commando was on.
We did, yes.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And somehow, some way, we still made it all the way home. And I remember, like, taking a nap right when I got home after I dropped you and V off. I crashed, and then Mom's like, well, when you get up from your nap, we'll take you out for pizza. I don't wake up until 7 a.m. the next morning.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Gettysburg was a trip.
It was, man. God, that was a long trip. And we did all that in like, God, 6 days, 7 days. Like, it might have only been 5 days. I don't even remember.
I think we did it in like 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were just nonstop driving. Like, I'm pretty sure we probably didn't get a full night's sleep at all, any night at all.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and then V being V made a whole bunch of egg salad sandwiches. And he's like, hey guys, like, I got a cooler full of egg salad sandwiches. And they're like good, like, you know, like maybe when you have them fresh, but then V starts farting in the back of the car. He starts farting in the back of the car, and we're like, oh, God, V, like, oh, it's gross.
It's so fucking bad. Oh, my God. I mean, just thinking about it, I can smell it again. That's how bad it was. Just, Oh,
V. Oh, man. But But yeah, we were it was so funny. And then V's just like a character all of himself. We got V stories. My favorite V story was we showed up early enough to Dragon Gate USA, and you're supposed to like pay for a ticket. It's like a $20 to $40 ticket.
Right, yeah.
And V just hangs out in the arena. He doesn't leave because he showed up at tryouts while you're getting ready. And I was getting in my, because I bought a legit ticket to the show. And V, being V, he found a spot underneath the air conditioning vent. And I see him sitting all the way out there, and I'm like, V, what are you doing? Well, it's like the coolest seat in the house. And just, and I was like, well, you know what? You're a very smart man, for sitting underneath the air conditioning, the air conditioning vent. So, yeah, because it was hot in there. It got hot in that arena.
Super hot, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another time where we kept on bringing stuff up for like BB Hulk to sign. And V brought up stuff to sign, and BB Hulk was like, I already signed for you. And V's like, no, sign again.
Did he sign it again?
I think he did.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Fucking V, man. V was a trip, that's for sure.
V was... and he was like, for the price of making egg salad sandwiches, he about had a free trip.
Yeah. He pretty much did. Because the crazy thing was, it was just going to be me and you going, and the night before, he's like, or it might have been the same day we were about because we left after practice.
Yeah. And
he's like, hey man, if I make a bunch of sandwiches, can I go too? And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Fuck it,
Yeah, might as well for all those sandwiches.
Yeah, bro.
But I think so. What are some other? Along with Dragon Gate USA, what were some of your favorite places to go to? I know you really liked going over to Albuquerque. I know you really liked going over to Lubbock for Squared Circle Pro. And then you went over to Arizona quite a few times, if I remember correctly. It was either Arizona or Vegas.
Yeah, well, it was both of them. EXW out of Arizona. We would go every other Tuesday out there and work. They had a weekly TV show out there. We'd work.
Right.
And then, which I wouldn't say that was one of my favorite places to work, but I met some of my favorite people in the business there.
Right.
But Vegas, FSW in Vegas, hands down, probably my favorite place I've ever worked. I mean, and they're running still now till this day, but Joe DeFalco out there, just amazing promoter, amazing booker. That place felt like a family. Like, you go to a lot of these places and, people are just a bunch of backstabbers, and you know how the business is, but FSW, you show up the locker room, it don't matter who you are. They treat you like family, and that's everybody. Everybody has such huge respect for everybody. I mean, it was to the point I was moving out to Vegas before I hurt my neck. I was a week away from moving to Vegas. I already had a spot out there, everything. And they just kept begging me to come out there and begging me. And I was moving. Like, I legit loved it out there. FSW, to me, is one of the best promotions out there. I mean, if it's somewhere, if you're looking for somewhere to work in the United States, that's a company that I feel like doesn't get talked enough about. Because, I mean, like, people like Karrion Kross, that's where he came from. That's where he started. And there's a bunch of people that started there. I mean, Joe DeFalco does an amazing job out there. Still one of my favorite people to this day, and definitely my favorite promotion. But besides FSW, DWO, those guys, I mean, they not only did they do a lot for me, they really helped build my confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a legit, pretty basic style of pro wrestling probably up till 2009, and that's when I kind of started switching things up. I went more a Japanese style because that's the kind of wrestling I liked.
Yeah.
But I never worked that style because, I just did basic stuff, and I started going to DWO, and they really like gave me that confidence to be the wrestler I really wanted to be. And I think if I started working for them, the stuff with Dragon Gate, none of this stuff would have ever happened, because I would have never believed I could have done it. But DWO, I mean, those guys, I mean, Dex, Josh Payne, those guys really gave me that confidence to become the worker that I became.
Yeah, there's actually so many like underrated places to work. Like, yeah. I really like I mean, my body just really didn't hold up, and then of course I chose college, but I would have really loved to go up to Joey Terrifying's like promotion up in Denver. I would have loved to go. Yeah. I would have loved to go to DWO. Even though it hasn't changed names now. Is it linked with NWA now, or
completely different company? Like it's completely. I think it's actually run by Hobo Hank, I believe. I think he runs it.
And I talked to Hobo Hank actually not too long ago when he was at the last SCP show.
Okay, yeah. I think him and some other people run it, but like Josh, I know Josh ain't really in the business anymore. DWO is pretty much done. I think they've been done since about 2018, maybe a little later. I'm not sure. So
okay. Yeah, that sounds about right, because man, that sounds like so long ago now.
Yeah.
But I really, I talked to Hobo Hank actually when he was in Lubbock last, and it's so funny because like he like, despite the appearance and the gimmick and everything, he's such a down to earth guy.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys like, okay, if like you and I could probably sit and talk wrestling, and then as with Rick and I mean, all of us could sit down and talk wrestling, but
yeah,
Hobo Hank, along with like Jerry Lynn, will be one of those guys that will talk about everything but wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so true, man.
Yeah. And I think what was interesting is I think we were just having like a regular just conversation, and I was just like, yeah, man, it's good to have you here. Like, cause I always heard about Hobo Hank. I never got to see him or meet him. So it was a treat to meet Hobo Hank. And I think Hank's one of the most underrated people around.
I do too.
Yeah. And, it was funny because I think I dropped what was it? He dropped like a Tommy Dreamer reference. And I was like, yeah, Tommy Dreamer was like on the radio not too long ago, like talking about like, I don't know. It was something. It was like your favorite pizza or whatever. I don't know. It was this radio show, and it's a bunch of guys that, they call random wrestlers and they're like, hey man, like, what's your favorite pizza? Or do you like pineapples on your pizza or something like that? And, and yeah, like we got chit chatting about that. And then, oh gosh,
that sounds like a pretty interesting show. Do you remember what it's called?
Oh, I don't remember. But they were just
I gotta find it.
They called Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer was at the airport. Like he was like getting his bags and everything, and they just call him out of the blue.
Yeah. My God.
I don't remember the show. It was on Sirius XM because my friend Kale Steed, he's a big wrestling fan. And he turns it on whenever he goes on trips or whatever. And we took a trip down to McKinney for the Lone Star Conference Football Media Day, because we're media people, I suppose. But we pass as media people. And like this came on, and we were just like, this is the most random stuff. I think it was like, do you prefer like a slice of pizza from New Jersey compared to a slice of pizza from New York? And it was just random, and they called Tommy Dreamer just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I do think that like they had somebody, like they had I don't remember who they had on the show, but they would just call up random guys and be like, hey, like, do you like pineapple on your pizza? We're just curious, but
yeah, I'm trying to think. Cause like I listen to, the Pro Wrestling 24/7 channel all the time on Cyrus, but I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who would do that, because I thought it was the stupidest thing. I was like,
Yeah.
you're taking time out of Tommy Dreamer's day to like ask about if he prefers pineapple on his pizza or if he likes pizza from New Jersey compared to New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like out of all the things you could ask him, you're asking him that. So.
That's like me like going up to you and be like, Rexx, do you like do you like video games? Like, oh, of course you like video games. Like, but no, like, I know, and like, I actually flew out to Vegas not too long ago, but, I was only there for like a hot second, then I had to fly over to Des Moines. But, yeah, like, I think on the way there, wasn't there like some sort of stores that you guys would always stop at? There was like a zombie store that you always like to stop at.
No, well, that was actually in Vegas.
Okay.
So that was it was the Zombie Apocalypse store, and they actually hadn't opened at the time. They were just giving us like a sneak preview of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'd only been there that one time, but yeah, that place was amazing. Like I don't even know how we met. Like I knew some of the Vegas guys. One of them knew them or something, and they had told me about it. I was like, oh, we gotta go. We gotta fucking go. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'd only been there like one time. So
okay. I think a lot of people will ask because like at one time you were the first generation badass and the extreme bulldog. What inspired? I know the extreme bulldog. But what inspired you to take up the zombie killer? Because now, like when I really think about it, you know, because you liked horror movies, like video games, and you like a whole bunch of really cool stuff, but like zombies, man. I mean, zombies was the hot thing like about 10, 15 years ago.
That was probably the big reason because of how big it was at the time. Mm-hmm. You know, people were talking about the end of the world in 2012 and shit.
Yeah,
you know, saying different things were going to happen. But, you know, when I first started wrestling, some of my biggest influences were guys like Rick Steiner. I was a huge Rick Steiner fan, the dog-faced gremlin. And so, like, my gimmick I wanted to do always was going to be built around, you know, the dog gimmick. I was going to get on all fours and bark at people, come out with the chain. And when I first started, I went by the big dog, Rexx Reed, because that was my nickname in football in high school was Big Dog. And when I started working around Texas more, I found another guy, and his name was Big Dog, who ended up being one of my tag team partners later on.
Right.
But it was just crazy because I didn't even like really know him, and I'd seen him. He was in the PWI 500 at one point, and that's how I found out about him. And I'm like, okay, I got to change my fucking name. But the dog gimmick was always something I always like, just was a huge fan of. I love JYD, you know, people like that just came out the chain. I'm like, oh, I got it. You know, that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
Well, I was still doing it on the side, but when me and Michael Faith started teaming, Michael Faith came up with the first generation badasses.
Yeah.
And it was because we were feuding with Mike DiBiase at the time at PWF.
Uh-huh.
So I would still use it for the tag team, but I was still going by Extreme Bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2008, I showed up to a show in San Antonio, and there was 4 dog gimmicks on this show.
No.
Like 4. One of them was Big Dog. Another one was Mad Dog. And I can't even remember what the other one was. But I took off my gear. I legit took off my gear, went and put on my first generation badass shirt, put on some different gear, and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm the first generation badass. So that's where I ditched the dog gimmick because so many people were doing it at the time. And and I did that, and then I kind of ditched that, you know, once me and Michael Faith quit teaming and everything. And then I believe it was right after I did the second Dragon Gate show, I started coming up with the idea of the zombie killer, just because, again, huge in the zombie movies, huge in the horror movies. And at the time, it was just like the biggest thing. I mean, there's so many movies coming out of zombie stuff. And so, yeah, I just did it. My dog gear, I just ripped all the stuff off that had anything to do with Bulldog.
Yeah.
I got some paint. I took it outside. I got some paint, just started splashing paint all over my singlet. And I started trying to think of a name. I was like, just do the zombie killer. So that's pretty much where it came from. But you know, I mostly did the dog gimmick until that. I probably did the dog gimmick more than any other gimmick I did.
Right.
Because the zombie killer I only did for maybe year and a half, 2 years. So
right. I do feel like the zombie killer was memorable though, because like the zombie movies were hot, and then you know, and I feel like it made sense. And I was like, dude, Rexx looks like he could just destroy zombies for a living. And I remember, okay, so this is me being cringe, and I did like a photo of myself, and it was like a zombie filter. And I took a picture of myself with the zombie filter, and I was like, Rexx, I'm coming after you. and Damian Blood, God bless him, he comes in, he was like, Rexx would destroy you if you were a zombie.
I so would.
Yeah, you totally would. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was memorable. It was good.
I mean, I honestly probably had the best matches of my career when I changed gimmicks like that. I mean, I had my injury, and then when I came back, I believe 2013, 2014, I did the gimmick. Like when I went back to PWF, which I think they changed the TOT by then.
Yeah.
I did the gimmick for, God, I'm gonna say like 9 months, but I finally did the gimmick the way I wanted to. Like I came out acting crazy. Like I thought everybody was a zombie. I had different weapons every week I was coming out with. There was one point I pulled out a knife like in the middle of the match, like he's a zombie. If he's a zombie, try to kill him. You know, that was the funnest I had with it, you know, because by then, after I hurt my neck, I couldn't wrestle the way I used to. Like I had such a rough time, and I had to think of a different way to make the gimmick work. And I started doing that. That's probably the most fun I had with it when I did it then.
Right. I think one thing I do need to ask is who are your favorite, like, I think to put it best dance partners. Like, who are your favorite dance partners? Like who did you enjoy wrestling the most? I know there's a lot of them. There's quite a few.
You know, at the top, it's got to be El Gringo Loco. I don't think I ever had better chemistry with anybody. We just got each other. It wasn't even one of those things where we had to go over the whole match or anything. We'd have our little things here and there, but we just knew each other so good. And I don't think there was anybody I had better matches with. I mean, he was so good. I had some good matches with a lot of people, like me and Mosh. Our styles just mixed. Oh man, me and Mosh is the same thing. I mean, the difference between me and Mosh, of course, we're trying to kill each other with weapons and shit, but we just, you know, we work so well together. But me and Gringo was just a different type of match, just more technical, more just, God, we were just so good together. I mean, if I could have one more match, it'd be against Gringo. I'd find a way to make it happen. But,
right.
Yeah, Gringo, Mosh, God, there's so many guys. Austin Riley, like we only had maybe 3 matches, and he was another guy. I mean, I usually had great chemistry with smaller people. That was probably my best thing. Like I always had great matches with smaller people. So
yeah. You know, I feel like El Gringo Loco, he's like a fine wine. He gets better with age.
Yeah.
Mosh Pit Mike, I felt like his psychology was really good. Like it was very underrated because like in most wrestling matches, you want to build up to the big match or you want to build up to the big moment. You want to build up to the big spot, you know, right. where you go from the top or or you're trying to do some signature moves or whatever.
Yeah.
And when it came to hardcore matches, Mosh went for the weapon. He would always like go for the weapon first. In a real fight, that makes perfect sense because
it does.
Because in a fight, wouldn't you try to like wouldn't you try to go for a weapon first rather than like try to fight them with your fists and feet before you resort to the weapons? Like,
Exactly.
you know, and I remember we talked a lot about psychology, and we were like, okay, all right, we're, you know, we're building up to this climatic moment, or, you know, it's telling a story through what we're doing.
Yeah.
But, oh, and by the way, I will tell, I've seen a lot of matches. I've seen a lot of matches just as a fan, and then as a person behind the curtain, and now in the broadcast booth. But I still feel like the one 5-star match I've seen live, I had the privilege of seeing, it was Rexx Reed, El Gringo Loco, and it was at the Castro County. It was like the exposition center. It was Amarillo Elite Wrestling. I still feel like that's one of the best matches I ever saw. So
thank you, man.
I
appreciate
remember that. That was such a great match. And that was like a card that had like Jimmy Jacobs and Too Tough Tony on it.
Yes, I was gonna say that because after the match, Jimmy Jacobs came up to me and Gringo and just like praised that match. He's like, that was awesome. Like, and just getting that from Jimmy Jacobs at the time, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah, we're good. But yeah,
it's like,
that
cool.
It was an amazing moment, because like getting that from him was huge for both of us. Huge confidence builder, because I mean, I'd say it was around 2010, so it was when I was on that road going towards Dragon Gate. So
yeah. And then in between that was the whole scuttlebutt at McDonald's, and I'll take us through the story.
Oh God.
Yeah, you know, and I bet you you and I, our stories will align perfectly. I just remember more of the night. But I remember we went to this really weird nightclub called the Sorority House.
Yes.
And it was you, me, Benny Benitez. It was V, and then it was Cody who was there, and it was Star.
Yes.
Good old Star.
I think JoJo was there too.
JoJo was with us. JoJo was with us.
Yeah.
And I remember like it was really funny because like for laughs, like it was towards the end of the night, and Star was she was a little bored or whatever, and she's just like, I'm gonna throw this bottle down on the ground, see what happens. And she does it. She's like, boom, like she throws it down, and it's like and what happens is like this huge fight breaks out in the club, and then it spills to the outside.
Yeah.
And there were people brawling all over the place. There was one guy that got punched from his own, like inside of his own car, and somebody lost a hat. So Star's like, cool, I got a free hat. Like, and then like it's 2 a.m. and we're like, man, we're starving. We need to go somewhere. Let's go to McDonald's. And I remember we're just chilling. We're just chilling in the car, and there were like some girls like in the car in front of us, and they were being loud, and we were trying to be fun. We were like, hey, how's it going? And then they started like, you know, being really mean to us, and we were like, you know, they were like, you know, fuck you, no, fuck you, like, and then like the car behind us started getting involved, and we had already ordered our food. We're pulling up to the window, and we've already paid for our food, and it was like, I think it was like $40 because we were all like, we threw it all in one big pot, and we were like, oh, you know, we'll just do this, and these guys started chirping at us, and they were like, oh, fuck you, and like, no, fuck you. And I remember like I'm sitting in like, after like the window is open for the cashier, and you jump out of the car because you're like, I've had enough of these clowns. And And it's like two guys that jumped out and they were like wearing the same. It was like they were wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
And I remember you came up and you were like, boom, knocked one out. And then like, I remember like, and then of course like V and Benny were like, well, let's back up our boys. So they all get out of the car. I stay in the car and
You're getting the food.
I was trying to get the food and I look over at the cashier and I'm like, I am so sorry. Like, and then all these random people started coming up and we were like, well, we don't want this to be like West Side Story. So like everybody piles in and I think you got hit a couple times by somebody. I don't know.
So what happened was I went up, I knocked out the first guy. Like I just hit him one time. He was out. The second guy, I go after the second guy, and B actually confronts him first.
Yeah.
B gets pushed down. Like there's kind of like a little type of hill right there. It's not really a hill, but it's like he falls down. So I go to pick up V. When I'm going to pick up V, the guy kicks me in the face, just boom, and that's what fucked up my face.
Oh yeah.
But I did not even realize how bad it was because I was just adrenaline was going, and I went after that guy and I kicked his ass, and then we got the fuck out of there. But when we left, that guy was still knocked out. I thought I killed that guy. Like I was scared to death. I was legit shit my pants because I thought I legit killed him. He was not moving, and we were leaving. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I just killed that guy. I fucking and we drove to Cody and Star's house, and we hid out. Like I don't even know. I think we were there about an hour.
Yeah, and
we hid out, and I remember at one point a fire truck showed up, and I'm like, it's the cops. They're coming to take me. I'm fucked. Oh my god. And I remember that whole week I was checking the newspaper. I'm like looking for obituaries, like if there was some guy that got killed at McDonald's. Yeah, it was good. The guy didn't die, so there you go.
He just got knocked the fuck out. Is what he got.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
but I was shitting my pants, man. I legit thought I killed that guy.
So like, God damn. I remember you stumble in the car and Benny's like, let's go. And I'm like, we haven't gotten our food yet. Benny's like, we need to bounce like right now. Yeah. So I was pissed because we had all that food ordered and we didn't get any McDonald's at all. I was pissed. And I do remember we were at Cody and Stars kind of recovering from what transpired. Yeah. And then we tried to go, we tried to just be like, all right, let's all go home. Let's rest up. And we get stuck in the elevator. So Benny had to call the fire department. He was like, yeah, like we're stuck in an elevator. Can you get us out? And we're all freaking out.
Happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, yeah.
Right before the fire department shows up, the elevator starts to work and we're walking out right as the fire department's walking in.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Crazy.
The fucking stories, man. Oh my god.
You've had some really fun stories when I was not around. So what are some of your favorites from, that don't involve Tyler?
One of my personal favorites was around 2007. At the time, I used to go work for Rudy Boy Gonzalez a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would work for Rudy like 3 or 4 times a month. I mean, just constantly. And he started doing a weekly Wednesday show. And this is right around when me and Michael Faith started traveling a lot together.
Yeah.
And another guy that used to travel with us was a guy by the name of Lee Caslow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got us booked for that show, another show in, I believe it's Corpus. I think, it was Corpus. So Wednesday, we're going to work San Antonio. Thursday, we're going to work Corpus. Friday, we're going to work Mineral Wells, Texas. And then Saturday, TOT, PWF in Amarillo.
Yeah.
So Faith goes, he picks up Lee from Wichita Falls because he lived in Lawton, Oklahoma at the time.
Yeah.
And then he comes and picks me up, and we head down to San Antonio. We do the first show. no big deal. You know, Rudy kind of fucks us on pay like always, but you know,
Jesus.
it's like, I'll get you the next day. And of course, by this point, Faith has been going to Japan. He's making good money wrestling.
Mhm.
He's pissed. He's like, what the fuck, you know? Well, we show up in Corpus. I know we get to Corpus, and we had never been to Corpus, like none of us. And so we went and found, the first thing was we went and found a restaurant, and we walk in, we sit down. There's nobody in the restaurant. And at the time, we're all wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. You know, we don't know if there's a dress code or anything. We just sit down. All of a sudden, there's like 10 people coming in like tuxedos and suits, and we're just like, we got to get the fuck out. So we left, and we're like, yeah, we got to get the fuck. We had ordered like water, and then we bailed on the waiter and everything. But so we go to the venue, and Rudy's there and everything, and there's no fans. Like, there's nobody there. There's just the wrestlers. And I think by the time the show started, there's about 4 people.
Oh.
So we do, I believe we're like second match, Lee's like third match. And, you know, as soon as I think it gets to about the 5th match, we're walking around looking for Rudy, trying to get our pay because we want to get going, you know, because we got another show the next day. He's nowhere to be found. Like, he's gone completely. And I run into this guy. His name's Don Juan. Mm-hmm. And I asked Don, I was like, hey, man, where's Rudy? He's like, dude, I don't know. I'm looking for the son of a bitch, too.
Oh, no.
And so I call him. I'm like, Rudy, like, where you at? He's like, we haven't got paid yet. He's like, oh, no, I got sick, man. I'm not feeling good. I'll get you next time. And we're like, what the fuck, man? Like, no, fuck you. You gypped us on pay the night before. I don't even think Lee got paid the night before. Like, it was fucked up. So, you know, I'm texting him. I'm trying to like, dude, we need to get paid. You need to pay us. And he's, you know, he quit talking. He wouldn't answer his phone anymore, nothing.
Oh, shit.
So he just leaves his students there, like just leaves them like to pick everything up. And he's got tables full of merchandise and all this shit. And they're putting the ring together or putting the ring up. And Faith goes up to, I believe it was Brett Thunder, who he's another guy that passed away a while back. But he went up to Brett Thunder. He's like, hey, where's Rudy at? He's like, yeah, I don't know. He just left us. He just called and said, put everything up and go. I was like, are you? Yeah. So we kept trying to call him. And finally, Michael Faith is like, give me that fucking tub. And we ended up taking like 2 tubs full of his fucking merchandise. Like full of like wrestlers and all kinds of different shit. Well, the crazy thing is I'd been trying to call him because we hung around for 2 hours after the show, like trying to get a hold of this motherfucker, and he would not answer his phone. But as soon as we took that shit, that son of a bitch called in like within 20 minutes, like, hey, you better give me my shit back. And we're like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, pay us first.
You like, this is our shit now, motherfucker. And oh man, that was probably one of my favorite stories because Michael Faith had no fucks given back in the day. Like, he did not give a fuck. He would fight like that. Like, I'm one of those people that has no fear. I'll fight anybody, any place, anytime. Of course, not now, but back then. But that is one guy I would never fucking fight because he was just Michael Faith was the nicest guy in the world. But if you pissed him off, the scariest guy you'd ever meet. Oh. And when he poor Brett Thunder was like a nice kid, man. But when fucking Faith got up in his face and said, we're taking this shit. I'd never seen Brett so scared in his life. He's like, okay, yeah, take whatever the fuck you want. So we did. And, that was one of my favorite stories. And I've got so many stories, but man, like Michael Faith was just one of my favorite people. Like, you know, losing him just, that was hard because he really was one of my closest friends and just another guy that gave me a lot of confidence because he believed a lot in me, and it just, it sucks. But we've got some good stories, so that's always something I'll always cherish with him.
Oh, I agree. And I think this is a good time to reflect on, you know, how awesome Ray Basuda was too. Like, I felt like if I continued wrestling, I would have been like kind of in that group with like him and Kyle Hawk, and we would have been probably traveling a lot.
Oh yeah.
And even when I couldn't wrestle anymore, I was doing more support stuff for Squared Circle Pro. RJ was the most like professional, down to earth, funniest guy you've ever met. And I mean, it's sad that, you know, like I have to talk to him in like about him in past tense instead of present tense. But you know what a great guy. Gone too soon. So I think this would be a good time to, you know, share some favorite Ray Basuda stories, because he was a character, and he was someone like I was like, he's a cool dude.
He really was. Ray was one of those guys legit would give you the shirt off his back. I mean, God, like thinking that he's gone, just
yeah,
it's hard. You know, I've lost so many close friends over the years. Like a lot of guys that I was tag team partners with, a lot of guys that I traveled with. I mean, you know, but Ray hit me the hardest. He really did, because we spent so much time together, especially like 2010 to 2012. We were traveling almost every weekend together. There's times we're on the road for weeks together, because we would go to Arizona, we'd go to Utah, we'd go to Las Vegas, and oh my God. I mean, when I found out Ray passed, I legit broke down. It breaks my heart right now, because we did so much stupid shit together.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, and a lot of the stuff we did, like when I was doing the Indie Road Show, a lot of the stuff's on there, but probably mostly just the Vegas trips. I mean, we and God, Gray was nicest guy, but you get him drunk, man, he's crazy like everybody else. We had oh man, so many adventures in Vegas. Some of the stupidest shit we would do in Vegas. I mean, we would just walk up to random people and just, oh my God, just, you know, some of the dumbest shit we would say to people, like you know, there was one time we walked up to a group of girls, and we were like, you know, in Vegas, you can walk around with beers. You know, we'd carry around a backpack full of beers.
Yeah.
One time Ray just walked up to these random girls, and he's like, I got a beer. And he's just like, hey, film this. He's like, all right. So I'm filming. He's like, titties or beer? What do you want? I'm just, oh my God, Ray, are you fucking kidding? And these girls are pissed. Like, what? Don't say that.
Oh,
but
that's
I mean,
so funny.
You know, that's the kind of stuff Ray would do, man. I mean, you know, my mind is so just scrambled right now because of everything that's happened with him. I can't think of all the stories, but there was so many. Ray, we spent so much time with Ray on the road. I mean, I remember, you know, I really wasn't big into video games when I was wrestling at the time. You know, I would play random shit here and there, but I didn't own a console. My mind was always wrestling 24/7.
I remember that. Yeah.
And one of the reasons I started falling back in love with video games is I went up to Albuquerque, and I think we were leaving the next day for one of the long trips, and I hanged out with Ray all day. And Ray introduced me to the game Dead Island.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah, and we sat there and played it for hours, and I got a truth be told, he's probably the one that really got me back into loving video games. I mean,
that's cool.
We did all day, we played that game, and I was like, this is amazing. I gotta, you know, and yeah, I mean, you know, God, you know, there's only probably a handful of guys I can count on one hand that were true brothers in the business, and Ray Bazura, hands down, was one of them.
Yeah, he was a special one. And then one of my favorite Ray stories was when we were all just starting out, and it was after the Dimmitt show, and we were over at Jeremy Willett's house, and Too Tough Tony was there. For some odd reason, we like we were taking dares on getting chopped. Like,
Yes.
yeah, somebody was chopping us, and that was kind of, you know, like that was the thing with, you know, greenhorns or people just starting out. You go through the rituals, and I went through my fair share.
Yeah.
I remember it's like, we were all drinking and having a good time. It's like, all right, all the new guys need to take chops, and I took a chop. RJ took a chop. Kyle Hawk, he bitched out.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were so mad at Kyle Hawk for a while for that one. We were like, Kyle, I mean, like we have to take these for like a living. Like, why won't you take one now? Like,
yeah.
But
I mean, the thing is with Ray, man, he had so much respect for the business. Like he would have done anybody that had seniority in the business. If you told him to do something, he would have done it. He don't care.
Yeah.
He respected the business so much. He loved the business so much. And, you know, there'll never be another one like Ray. I mean, if you just go and you see everything that was posted about him on Facebook, I mean, you will not find one bad word to say about Ray. He was just stand-up human being, awesome in the ring. I mean, he's just a great human being. This really sucks that he passed away.
Yeah. And I can't. It kind of hit me a little different when I learned that he passed. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people say better words than you could, and I was guilty of like staying silent, but because everybody took all the great words they had to say. It's like, you know, I mean, what different words could I express to tell people how special, you know, Ray really was to a lot of us. Yeah. And I mean, I was going to take the chance and be like, okay, all right, even though it's many weeks past, you know, from the news or whatever, but I was like, I think this is perfect to where Rexx and I can be like, let's reflect on him and remember, hey, RJ as this amazing guy, and always had a smile on his face. He always had a joke to tell and a story to bring up, and just a class act. So as far as my opportunity, it's like, hey, you know, my condolences to the family. I may have to find where you have to donate to, because like there's like a cause like you can donate to. I think it's like an animal shelter, I believe. Which is really cool.
Yeah, I believe he worked there or something. I don't remember. He worked somewhere like that, but I hadn't talked to him in like probably 2 years, so I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it's something like that. Well, I'll definitely have to find that and share it.
Yeah. I'll move on to lighter topics. Okay. I'm gonna play a hypothetical with you real quick, Rexx.
All right.
As far, like, let's say like your body holds up, you know, you never had to deal with the neck injury, because I know, I mean, and the cool thing is you overcame the neck injury, worked a few matches before it was like, oh, it's time to grow up. But let's say, like, you know, you're 10 years younger and you're tip top shape. You know, you're who would be the people, and I know one right off the top of my head, right off the tip of my tongue, that would easily work with you tomorrow, even though he just retired. Who are some people that you'd be like, okay, all right, I would really love to work with these people?
Like, we're talking like nowadays, like anywhere,
anyone, anytime.
There's so many, man. Like, we talking big leagues, little leagues, like anywhere.
Anyone. What would be your dream matches?
Off the top of my head would be Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
Like, I would give anything to have a match with him. Like, I feel like we would tear it up anywhere, anytime. I mean, he's just, oh man, he's amazing in the ring. And I've followed his whole journey from the indies, from everything he's went through. And he's definitely somebody off the top of my head I would have loved to have had a match with.
Yeah. I remember Jacob Fatu coming in with the Territory League with Rikishi and Reno, the Count of the Count of California, and now they run Knox Pro. But to see Jacob really elevate himself into being one of, if not the best wrestlers, like today, I would be like, yeah, I can see it. Like, I saw a superstar in him from a mile away. Like, you knew he was going to be a big deal someday. And I'm so glad that our intuition, like, did not deceive us, because that was it, to see him in WWE was like about time they saw it.
He's definitely a guy that, like, you couldn't deny him when he first came in. It's like one of those guys, like, he's going to be a star. You can't, WWE can do a good job of holding certain talent down and they can't really overcome it. But he's one of those guys, like, you can't hold this guy down. What he does in that ring, what he does on that mic, I mean, he demands to be a star, and that's the thing a lot of guys in the business nowadays just don't even really care about. They're just, oh, I got a paycheck or whatever. But he's just one of those guys. You can't hold him down. His talent is just amazing.
Yeah, he like, even when, like, he just stopped in Amarillo for like a hot minute, like, I was like, man, that's a future superstar right there. And like, it helps when you get like endorsed by like Booker T and all these other older guys, more established guys that are like, you need to watch out for Jacob Fatu. He is the real freaking deal. Like, he's legit.
He really is. Yeah, he really is. But besides him, I've always been a huge fan of Kevin Owens. I know he's hurt right now, but that's a guy I wish I could have always had a match with. I mean, I feel like, again, we just would have had incredible charisma together. Like, I just feel like me and him would have put on some banger matches. But oh God, there's so many guys. I mean, because I still watch it all the time. I don't pay attention to the indies like I used to, but I watch mainstream wrestling all the time. I still watch AEW. I still watch. I just got back into watching TNA since it's on AMC now. WWE. I mean, I there's so many guys I wish I had the chance to work with, and I never like officially retired, but there's no way I could, even if there was a small chance I could wrestle again physically, I could never do it to the standard that I was at, like 2011, 2012. But that version of me, 2011, 2012, put me in the ring with any of those guys, would still the fucking show.
Oh, absolutely. I have a friend of mine always had a really good saying, which it's wrestlers never retire. They just stop taking bookings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
look at Terry Funk.
Terry's the perfect example. I mean, Terry would retire like 20 times and still come back, and I tried to 2019, I came back for a while and I mainly was doing tag matches. I mean, I just physically wasn't where I needed to be. And 2020, right before the pandemic, I was taking like a 2-month break and I was going to start working for SCP in May of that year. And, I was going to I'm going to get in better shape. I'm going to, physically try to fix the problems I'm having. And then of course the pandemic happened and I've never gone back to the ring since. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that that's been 5 years. Like, it's almost 6 years. I know there are plenty of other guys. I know Nolan Phillips has expressed that he would have loved to have the chance to run it back with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, guys like Justin Taylor and Ryan Justice and
oh God, like those guys. Oh man, I worked with Justin and worked with Ryan very early in their careers. Like I think Justin had only been in about maybe 2 years. I had a solid match with him at TOT. He's somebody, man. Like I don't understand why he's not signed somewhere. I really don't. He's the embodiment of a pro wrestler. He works his ass off. He looks like $1 million. I mean, such a professional guy, such a nice guy. That's what I loved about him. That's just a good human being, and he's somebody I would have loved to have had another match with, because especially now he's so fucking good. Even back then, though, he was good. He was really so good back then. But like, he's somebody I would love to have a match with right now. And Ryan, I've wrestled, I think, about 3 times, but that last match we had in TOT, I think it was 2014, one of my all-time favorite matches. Just Ryan's another guy, man. There's so many guys that should have been signed. There's so many. They're so talented. And Ryan and Justin are 2 guys that I've always believed in, always loved working with them. Just 2 guys I wish would have made it because they're so damn good.
Yeah. And not to mention Ryan's a really fun person to podcast with. So there's that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I get on the extra point with him, and he's a blast.
Yeah, I need to check it out, man. I saw that he was doing a football podcast now, so I definitely need to check it out.
Yeah. Now, like, since I've moved back, and I remember it was at one of the SEP shows, and he was like, hey, if I ask you to like hop onto, my podcast, would you join me? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I knew about the extra point. And I was just like, hey, like that's something like he has his co-host for or whatever. And I feel like the last few months, especially like during the playoffs, like Ryan's like, are you still good for tonight? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm always ready to talk football, or
ready to go.
I'm always ready to yap. So so like, being on the extra point with him it's awesome. I mean, I can't tell you like how much fun it is, and just let him go, especially when he talks about the Texans, and then he lets me go when I talk about the Broncos. Another person I know, and I didn't bring it up with him, and I'm kicking myself over it, but this is the first of many appearances. I mean, I know for a fact that I definitely would love to bring you back in the near future, especially around WrestleMania. I know Rick comes back almost all the time. Rick should almost be a co-host at this point. Duke Cornell, I wish I was like, hey, like a dream match I would have loved to see would have been the zombie killer Rexx Reed, 2011, 2012 Rexx Reed against, like, maybe, I can't put a year on Duke, but the Copperhead Duke Cornell. I think that would have been a hell. Like that would have been a match that would have torn down any house.
Where's he out of?
He's out of Omaha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Derek Cornell. Remember, he was like a member of the Legion of Liger, or the League of Liger, for a little bit.
That's right. Yeah. He came to one of the Dimmet shows. Yeah.
He came to one of the Dimmet shows, and we were all feuding with Jerry One. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Steve,
Wasn't that was the same show that me and Gringo had that match, right? Or is that a different show?
That was a different show. It was a later show.
Right.
Yeah.
I got it.
Because I call it the 5-star match. Like that was like one of the first Dimmet shows, and then Rick tried to really push like the League of Liger, and then that was the last Dimmet show.
Okay, I see. All right.
Yeah, because Vanessa Willits didn't like me a whole lot. And I just said her full name on stream, but okay. Nope. I mean, I won't go into any more details, but like, that would have been a killer match, because
I remember you talking about him, and then I actually got to meet him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. See, like for me,
awesome,
that would have been a dream match. Because he did the whole, after the Derek Cornell, he kind of rebranded into Duke, and then he did Guns and Beer, and then he had the Snake Pit, and then he had, and then he was like a solo act as Copperhead, and another really fantastic worker. He still reminisces about the trips down to Texas and working with A-Will. And he was like, oh man, that was one of the easiest matches I ever worked. And he loved A-Will. And then we kept on bringing him down. Like, I remember right after we got done with the Philadelphia trip, I think I only had like $200 some odd like left in the bank account. And we had a Dimit show right afterwards, and I helped. I don't want to put too much weight on, give myself too much credit. I don't want to, but I helped the Iowa guys get down to Dimit, and Duke was on that show. And he was our crown jewel. He was our main guy when we had like Sean Nautilus and the late Jason Strife. He passed away a few years ago.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Damn.
Yeah, and Strife came down. Sean, not a lot of moves, which Duke affectionately knows him as, came down. And then we also had Brian Gott. He came down as well. So that was a whole group of Iowa guys, and
I remember those guys.
We helped them get down. It was fun.
Yeah, because that show, I think that show was like either that weekend or the next weekend right after we got back.
Yeah, it was nuts. And Rick even pitched in and helped. So nice. It was really cool. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know that you're working and you're working hard. What is some of your advice that you would offer younger guys? Because you have so many years of experience, so many road trips, so many stories. You worked with so many different people. You had great matches. You had some that weren't, exactly the greatest, but what would be your advice for like a younger guy, like a Miles Journey or any of these guys like out of Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101? Like if you pop by their, and I'll paint a little bit of a picture. They have a really cool facility down in Lubbock. They have 2 rings. They have guys that practice all the time. That place is hopping, and there's a lot of really good wrestlers coming out of there that are starting to travel. They're not only regulars at Squared Circle Pro, but Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101 is starting to like take their act on the road, which is really exciting. Like they're going to places like Houston, and they do a whole bunch of other shows. And I mean, and it's a Lubbock brand. But what, like if you walked in that building and let's say Gringo or Phoenix is another person I can't heap enough praise on these days. If they were like, hey guys, come on in, I'm going to have you meet Rexx Reed. He's an awesome guy. I mean, what would be some bits of advice that you would share with them? Because I know you got plenty of really good advice.
Probably the biggest thing is I would tell them to get out as much as they can, work as much as they can, because that's probably the biggest thing, especially when you're starting out. Like a lot of guys, they're only doing the shows like, the person that trained them or the promoters running. Mm-hmm. And I would tell them to think outside the box and get your butt out there and work as many shows as possible, because that's how you become a great wrestler. The more you work, the more you learn. And, it's not just about training all the time. Training's important, of course, don't get me wrong. But you need to be out in front of a crowd. And if you're out in front of a crowd all the time, you're going to learn a lot faster, and you're going to learn this business a lot faster. And the other thing I'd probably say is sell. That's one of the lost arts of this business. I mean, you even watch the big leagues nowadays. everybody just, the selling is just not there anymore. You know,
Oh yeah, it's like a WWE 2K game. Like everybody pops
yeah,
up. Like
yeah, it is. It really is. Like nobody sells anymore. And it's like, you know, you can do all the fancy moves in the world, but I mean, if you're not like reacting to these moves, I mean, what's the point of doing them? And a lot of times just guys will just do moves to do them, and it makes absolutely no sense because they're right back up 2 minutes later. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that I would say, get out, travel as much as you can, work as many shows as you can. I mean, sometimes you may not make any money. Sometimes you might make a hot dog and a fucking Coke, but get out there in front of a crowd and work, sell. And, you know, probably the other thing, I just lost my thought, damn it. But those are two of the biggest things. I mean, guys need to learn how to sell, and you know, guys need to go out there and work. I mean, and I know guys still do it to this day where they just work their local shows. And if that's your goal, if you're not trying to make it in this business, then yeah, that's great, fine. But I mean, if you're somebody that's like determined to make it, like you want this to be your living, you want to make a living at this, you want to make money at this, get your ass out there and start working, and work as much as you can. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to make it in this business. Like you have to commit yourself to this business. Like it can't just be one of those things like, you know, I'm just going to, you know, train this day and like fuck it for the next 3. No, you gotta pretty much, when it comes to pro wrestling, you got to push everything else to the side. You got to make your life this business. And if your goal is to make it, that's what you got to do. I mean, I lost 2 ex-wives over this business, you know, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, you know, this is what I love doing, and you know, I wanted to make a living at it, and I wanted to make it. So, you know, you got to make it all about pro wrestling. If that's your goal, then that's what you got to do.
right. Can I add 2 more pieces of advice, and then you want to, you know, enhance that a little bit? I think one is be humble.
Yes.
You gotta. There's times to close your mouth. Like there's times to, especially when you're starting out. Like, and this is something like I learned a lot later. Is you close your mouth and you open your ears when your people that are there by seniority, or even, you know, guys that have, you know, experienced a lot, have a lot more experience than you have. That's where you kind of open your eyes and ears, and you listen and you learn. And, you know, by all means, like, please don't jump off a bridge. Like if they ask you to jump off a bridge, but usually,
Right, yeah.
usually these days, like a lot of really good guys, and I feel like the pro wrestling culture has gotten a lot better, and it keeps on getting better and better and better, because,
It really does.
you know, there's guys that, like, you know, they don't want to put their students through the crap that they went through. But you know, when somebody, you know, like let's say, like when you're giving me advice, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm all ears, man. Or even like, I've even seen this with referees where, like, you know, a more experienced referee will do some pointers and be like, here's what you look for, and look for this and look for that. Here's some other things to keep in mind, because that's what you want to make it look as real as you can.
Right.
So I think that's one. That was the biggest one that you told me, is just, hey, stay humble, listen to people. Like
That's actually that's the one that I thought I lost my train of thought to.
Okay, I'm glad
Yeah.
I caught you.
Yeah, like not to like change the subject real
Sure.
quick, but Ray, like that's the thing about Ray. I mean, Ray was just humble like that. Ray was the perfect example of that, because he would just, you know, he would be exactly that, humble, listen, shut his mouth. I mean, you know, and I would say like humble is probably the number one thing.
Yeah. Another one, I might lose my thought on this one too, is, and I did lose my thought on it.
Oh, my
Silly.
bad.
Nope, you're good. Stay humble, and, oh, dadgummit. It'll get back to me. It'll get
All
back to
right.
me. But yeah, staying humble is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Even though like we are in a business, like maybe not so much anymore, but like where you have to promote yourself, like you have to hype yourself up as larger than life, and
Yeah,
you have to,
especially nowadays.
yeah, and you have to
Like,
sell
like,
yourself.
I mean, the way the world is now, I mean, it's so much easier to promote yourself than it was back then, you know. So
It is,
yeah,
especially like you don't have to do tapes of yourself anymore, or like even DVDs. Like when I was like kind of starting to wiggle my way in, it was like, oh well, like I need I need a DVD or something of of some matches I've done, and that's a body of my work. Now
yeah,
you could just do like a Word document or a Google Doc with just matches that got on YouTube, or
yeah,
you had on stream. That's a yeah. It's incredible
yeah,
how easy you can get yourself out there.
yeah. Like when I first broke in and I moved down to Dallas, I would go to shows and like try to introduce myself and try to get on shows, and they were like, "Well, you got to send us some matches. You know, we got to see your matches." So I would go home and I would make like a resume, and then I'd have to print out disc and mail them out to everybody. I mean, and I wouldn't hear from guys for months, but that's how I started getting bookings back in the day. Now it's just so easy. Just send them the damn link, and there you go. But
Yeah.
I'm jealous of guys nowadays, man, because they got it made. They really do. I mean, it's so easy to not only send your matches out and you get looked that way, but I mean, promote yourself. Promoting the hell out of yourself is so easy now. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I think I'm going to add on to the be humble part. You got to listen to what the booker is telling you to do too. Yeah, because like somebody like Rick, where Rick has a vision, and I'm taking Rick the matchmaker away from, I'm separating the two, the Rick the character from Rick the booker.
Yeah.
And if Rick says, hey, you got, I need you to do this, I need you to do this, listen. And now once you get the seniority, then you could be like, okay, like then you can like offer like some, you don't want to change it up too much. Be like, hey, here's how I can help this out.
Yeah.
Because I noticed like, Nolan Phillips, who is such a smart guy, do things like to enhance what Rick has lined up for him. So, which is really cool. But, don't do that at first. Like let it go according to plan. Then once you get some experience under your belt, do whatever you can to enhance the show. Don't try to, hijack it.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about Rick, because Rick always has that vision. But the thing is with Rick is he's so open to hearing your idea too, like how to enhance that.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite things about working with Rick, because I could always go up to him and be like, okay, I like this, but like, what if we add this to it? And he was so open to that. I mean, Rick is just one of my favorite people in the business just because of that, because he was so open to everything, and, but back to your point, I mean, yeah, just do what you're told, just it's a job. It's somewhat of a job, it's a lot of times it's just a hobby for some people, but it's a job, you show up, you're told what to do, just do it, and, down the line, if you do get that seniority and you can talk to the promoter about doing something else, do it. Shoot your shot, see what happens. But with Rick, man, Rick is just such a great person to work with. I loved working with Rick so much.
Yeah. I love working with Rick too. I that's why I tell anybody who's anybody, like Rick is like a diamond in the rough. Like he is.
Yeah.
And
he really is.
And he's had 20 years of, creating storylines and building shows from the ground up that, you really don't want to take that for granted. That's why I hold him in the same high regard as like Gabe Sapolsky or
Yeah.
you know, anybody that is looked at as a great booker or great promoter. So I'll do one more question and then I'll let you get back to doing your thing, man.
Okay.
I know that you're doing streaming nowadays. Like I know it's few and far in
Oh,
between,
shit.
but
Yeah.
you know, I mean for anybody who's anybody, like I you know, this is just, you know, brotherly words of wisdom. There is a life after wrestling. You know, I found it, Rexx has found it. We could still have wrestling as a big part of our lives. I mean, there's nothing better in the world than me sitting with you, Rexx, and being like, let's just talk wrestling, and then just like, and then talk about it forever.
Yeah.
But you've gotten into streaming, you've gotten into some other things. There is a life after wrestling. So what do you do nowadays? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
Well, I do a lot of gaming. I mean, gaming's really kind of what's filled that void for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a real rough time. You know, I still miss the business to this day, but it's not like how it used to be. It's not like, you know, I'm not struggling with it like I was back then. But
Right.
that's probably the biggest thing. Like I do a lot of streaming. I have a gaming channel. I have a retro wrestling channel where I just stream wrestling games. And that pretty much fills the void for everything. I mean, it's really helped me out so much. I've become a collector, just all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I have those. I have retro zombie gaming and I have retro zombie wrestling I do streaming nightly on. I have a horror channel. I rate movies, you know, show what movies to check out, what movies don't watch, you know. I just have a lot of different things I'm doing nowadays. So there's definitely, you know, if you're somebody that's getting out of the business, you're forced out, you can't really do anything anymore. I mean, there's life after wrestling. I mean, of course, you know, my wife, she's always trying to push me to get back in. She knows I can't physically do it anymore, but she's always pushing me to do something else with the business. And of course, I'm always like, I don't. It's fine. I'm fine with just being a fan again. You know, I'm cool with it. But there is a life after wrestling. You got to find something to fill that void, and I have. So
yeah. So whenever you have a chance, do check out some of Rex's his streaming channels, his gaming channels, the horror channel. Once I find them, I'll put them in the link. I'll put them in the description below.
Okay.
Yeah. I really do think that, yeah, it's like, I think there's a way that you could still be involved where you don't have to, I remember my last piece of advice. Take care of your body. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself because, you know, Rexx, you busted your neck for that. And then I'm paying for, I mean, I think both of us are like in our own ways, we're paying. Like I paid for like, you know, I wouldn't call it like grueling training. I would just say the bumps are taking their toll. And I think it was Jerry Lynn that might've said it. Man, me and Jerry Lynn, everybody's got a bump count. It could just be one, or it could be like several million bumps. Everybody's got a bump count. Like, unfortunately mine was a little low, but just because you can't take bumps anymore, or like, you know, cause for me, it's always like, nowadays it's my lower back and my hips. And I remember that, and I'll tell this story another time. I was crashing out and I just bumped all by myself, and you were like, dude, don't do that because you're going to break your ass.
Yeah. I think somebody told you to like, practice your ass bumps or something.
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. That's the stupidest thing ever. Don't practice ass bumps. What the fuck? But it was constant. Like they told you to like keep do like how we used to do our old flip bumps and back bumps and all that. They were telling you to do the ass bump over and over like that. I'm like, yeah, don't do that shit.
Yeah. So my hips are paying for it years later.
Yeah.
But no, take care of yourself, take care of your body. You don't have to kill yourself to entertain a crowd.
Nope. And that's something I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got hurt, it just kind of came out of the blue. I mean, and that's the big thing. You got to take care of yourself. Don't think you're invincible, because I thought I was invincible. I thought nothing could break me. And the neck injury was the last thing I ever thought would happen. So definitely take care of yourself, and don't think like you're invincible, because you're not. Everybody eventually breaks down. And that's what happened to me. I mean, my problem was when I got my neck fused, I should have took off like a year and a half, 2 years, slowly like got back to where I needed to be. And I didn't. I came back in 6 months. And that's the stupidest thing you could ever do, especially with a fused neck. But I was naive. I was dumb. I was stupid back then, and I didn't take care of myself. And now I'm really paying for it. Like, I'm physically not in a good place, but you got to take care of yourself. And if you truly think that nothing's ever going to happen to you, you're going to find out the hard way, just like I did.
Yeah. And just like how, yeah, both of us are going through
like
that.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, both are. It's like, when I see somebody take like a really mean bump, and I'm like, oh, like I cringe,
Yeah.
like I wince, and I'm like, ugh.
I do too. I do. Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. And then it gets to the point where like last night, I was just sitting down, and I sneezed, and I was like, oh, like I felt that one.
That happens to me a lot too. But like with me, mostly it's I have a lot of nerve damage. So that's what, like, little stuff like that just really messes me up.
Yeah, no kidding. I think we're going to take it home, Rexx.
Okay.
What is something that you want to kind of, maybe we can leave on on a story or something?
Oh man, I got so many damn stories.
I know. I mean, like, Anheuser-Busch, that was a fun little trip, but it wasn't like we were getting in shenanigans.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I remember. I'll leave with a story. Okay, so this was, I think, like 2012 or 2013, and I was up in Iowa, and I was traveling around with Duke Cornell and all these guys because Davey Richards was going through on a 3-show swing through the weekend. And they had, like, it was Davey, it was Tony Kozina, it was Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh wow.
And Kyle O'Reilly, like, I'm kind of actually really proud of like how far he's come.
Yeah.
The first show, which was 3XW in Des Moines, that goes off without a hitch. The second show, which was in Council Bluffs, and if you watched a previous show, Duke Cornell and I talk about a certain super fan, and super fans are always hilarious. Because like the Warehouse had the Hillbilly, Amarillo had the Hillbillies, Council Bluff had Ray the Animal Hogan. And so this one kid, he was like 16. He didn't know any better. He was trained by the late great Jason Strife, and he puts out a promo on, because he was supposed to wrestle Tony Kozina, and saying like, I was part of a fake sport, like I'm a fake guy in a fake sport. Well, Tony Kozina took that personally and started just destroying Ryan Kidd. That's what the kid's name was.
Yeah.
And like an unprotected pile driver, like tearing off like Tony Kozina was going like nuts. And Davey is like sitting in the back being like, respect, like, because one of your things is like, well, just be respectful. And and I didn't think much of it at the time, and I was like, well, I guess Ryan Kidd, you effed around and you found out. And I mean, there's people that take it really seriously. Don't threaten that. And then on the third show, which was on a Sunday, in this little town called Milo, Iowa, and I knew the promoter, and Jeremy is a great guy. Jeremy Jacobs, wonderful person. He does stuff with 3XW nowadays. He's since, gotten out of the ring and more into the broadcast booth. And he does radio stuff for KGGO nowadays. So he has a pretty cool job. And he was running a promotion at the time, and they were supposed to have the main event was supposed to be Duke Cornell, or at the time Derek Cornell, against Davey Richards. Davey, Tony, and Kyle, and Kyle kind of expressed like, a little remorse over the weekend. But they were demanding like to get paid, and usually you want to get paid after the show. And that reminds us of, Rick brought up the war, the war promotion. And we have stories about war, but, it was just like a one shot show. Josh ran out of money. So like, all these big names, they stripped Josh down to his underwear, and they used his mom's card and like took all the money out of the ATM to get them paid, because they wanted to be compensated. Pay the guys. Right. Make sure you have enough money to pay the guys. Pay the guys and pay the gals. But like, so like they threatened Jeremy, like, you got to pay us. Like we need to be paid. And then they were sitting in the back, and, one of the guys was like, hey, does anybody have any wrist tape? Oh yeah, it's in the car. So all three leave. They all go to they all go, like they all vacate. They jump in the car and they leave. So they got paid. Shit. And they made out with the money. And so like Strife comes out, does like a shoot promo. It's like, oh yeah, these guys, they bailed on us. So we're going to do like, and I felt bad because that was going to be like one of those signature matches for Duke. And, because he cut his teeth working with Eric Cannon, and Eric Cannon's a great guy. And then, this was one of those like, hey, like I've worked with like Davey Richards. I've worked with these people, and maybe I can get looked at. And, they just ended up bolting on the show. And, so they just, it was Strife and Duke Cornell, and they were just, at that moment, they were just like, they were emulating, like they were doing like rock bottoms and stone cold stunners and tombstone pile drivers. And they were just trying to have fun with the show. They were trying to make good out of a bad situation.
Right.
But yeah, like it kind of got Davey Richards in trouble for a little bit, and then it brought on some heat. And it was kind of a weird ploy for Strife to try to get on Ring of Honor, but it didn't really work. It was just a really weird weekend. It was a really weird weekend. And I remember we stopped in Indianola, got something to eat with the guys, and then we were driving home. And I was just like, what on earth just happened? Like what happens? Like, but it is what it is. It's one of those crazy stories from the wild and wacky world of pro wrestling. And I mean, instead of being mad about it and, being like, oh yeah, I hold a grudge against Davey Richards, he's a piece of shit. No. Maybe like Tony Kazina might have been hard on the kid. Might have been a little too hard on Ryan Kidd. But to be honest with you, like, I'm like, you know what? If I was in Tony Kazina's shoes, like, and I felt like you disrespected me, yeah, I'm gonna like beat your ass and make you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
So I see both, in my old and wise years now, it's like, I see both. I see both sides of the story. And there's always, there's always one side, because like from Ryan Kidd's perspective, he was just trying to sell it. And I think he went about it trying to sell it the wrong way. and it
Right.
ended up really just pissing off Tony Kozina.
Yeah.
And if you look at like Tony Kozina, like I don't want to make too many enemies or anything like that, but he kind of like was like a reverse Popeye. Like, you know how Popeye had like really big forearms and like really skinny like biceps? Like he had big biceps and really skinny forearms. Like he was like the reverse Popeye. But that's yeah.
I've worked a couple yeah, I know.
He has tiny forearms. But
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, but like I'm not gonna judge him on that. But I saw both sides of the spectrum. It comes off looking really bad on, you know, on tape, but if you really look into the context, it's really not. It's like, okay, all right, stupid kid making stupid mistake, you know, professional instead of being like, you know, let's throw it out the window. No, and let's just try to have a best match we can. I'm just gonna punish him, you know. But it is what it is. Be sure to work your matches before you start threatening promoters to get paid. Wait until after the show to threaten promoters to get paid.
Yes.
Don't be a Rudy Boy Gonzalez. Don't be and certainly don't be like poor Josh, where you ran out of money. But
that's a story for another time.
Yeah, it is. But Rexx, thank you so much. I've been looking forward to the show for a long time. I wanted to tell the stories like where we went to Philadelphia and back and went to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
I'm sure more little moments will pop up with time, but please drive safe, travel safe. You know, don't work too hard. I want to try to bring you back on in time for WrestleMania. So let's do that.
Yeah, I'd love to come back, man. I mean, like, just talking like this has brought back so many memories because I don't ever talk to anybody. So, you know, you made me thinking of a lot of stuff. So definitely got a lot more to talk about.
Absolutely. Okay. All righty. Well, this has been season 1, episode 25 of the Unfiltered podcast. One more thing, Rexx, before you go. Let's shout out Sumo Dog. It is Sweeze's dog, Sumo, affectionately known as Sumo Bear. So before we go, we got to shout out Sumo Dog.
Let's shout out Sumo Dog.
He is the goodest boy. So Sumo appreciates all the shout outs. And it's a thing. It's become a meta where like all these comedians they shout out Sumo, which is Tanner, Sweeze's dog.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I've gotten like news personalities, and I've gotten streamers and other people to shout out Sumo Dog. So
let's go, Sumo Dog.
Sumo Dog. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for joining Rexx and I. Rexx will definitely be back. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then we might have Crash Out connoisseurs later on tonight because of course there's news about Cyrax. And yeah, Rexx, you gotta hear what I'll let you in on the loop about the Goblin here soon. But
okay, sounds good, man.
but until another time, thank y'all so much for watching. We will see you with Kale Steed next week. So yeah, tune in. It'll be a really fun show because it'll be just like this one. We're going to tell a lot of really fun stories. And yeah, until then, y'all have a good one. You guys take care.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it too, man. Yeah, just let me know when the next time you want me on, and I'll be there. All right, man. Well, you take care, and thank you again. All right, man.